When I, good friends, was called to the bar, I'd an appetite fresh and hearty. But I was as many young barristers are, an impecunious party. I'd a swallowtail coat of a beautiful blue, a brief which I'd bought of a booby, a couple of shirts and a collar or two, and a ring that looked like a ruby. A couple of shirts and a collar or two, and a ring that looked like a ruby.
Greetings and welcome, friends, to round 3 of Morpheus Theatre, So You Think You Can Sing GNS. My name is Sean Anderson, and I'm the Artistic Director of Morpheus Theatre. With me today, as usual, is Paige Fossheim, Stage Director of our upcoming production of Trial by Jury, and Wynne Hume, Music Director of Trial by Jury. Wynne is also our Music Director of our GNS Junior Theatre School and GNS Singers Choral Program, so definitely an expert on GNS. Welcome, ladies.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Great. And I want to start by thanking everyone that's been watching our videos for the last 3 weeks. We're getting plenty of views and exposure for our 3 shortlisted competitors. So thank you very much for that. I know with the recent changes this week in restrictions in Alberta, people may be wondering if our production will be impacted. And fortunately, June is several months away, so we are hopeful that we will still be able to perform on schedule, but we are always prepared to adapt. And that includes whether we have to extend our online rehearsal process by a few weeks, or in the worst case, move our show out a few weeks. But we always adapt, and we are committed to presenting this show this June. And we will do everything we can to give you an entertaining evening of live in-person theater. So, as we start, question for each of you. Paige, how about we start with you? What should audiences be looking forward to with Trial by Jury?
I think you've said it. One of those things is in-person live theater. I think that's something that all of us have really been missing over the last year. And it gives you something to look forward to. Also, the different medium, being outside and doing a show in the park. It's something I've never done that I'm really excited to kind of learn and adapt to. And I think it's going to give a different experience for our audience members. So it's something new, and I'm really excited for that part. And I think audiences will be too.
Great. Wynne, any thoughts?
Yeah, I think this is going to be a really interesting change from what we usually do for our spring GNS show, and that this production will have trial by jury, but also a chance for the cast members to present a concert showcasing their skills, so singing solos or ensembles or both. Also, in our cast, there's some people new to the Morpheus stage as well as old friends, and in this in this production, we'll get to see them in a new way on an outside stage, and that's really exciting.
Great, looking forward to it. So, as part of the audition process for Trial by Jury, Morpheus Theatre decided to launch a So You Think You Can Sing GNS competition. This is a fun competition to encourage an interest in the music of Gilbert Sullivan, hear some songs that maybe we're not used to all the time, promote individual artists that have not had a leading musical theater role outside of school or an educational program, and potentially win a spot in our production of Trial by Jury. Well, last week we announced our cast for Trial by Jury, so we're going to have some different prizes announced today. And last week, we also announced our top 2 singers and shared with you their second songs. So Wynne and Paige, how are you feeling about the competition so far?
It's been hard. We had so many talented people, and it's been great to see them grow. It is very challenging watching videos and having to kind of find the differences and critique and promote, and I don't want to do it again. I do not envy shows where they have to do this on a weekly basis, but it's been a lot of fun. I think it's been a great learning experience for us, and I think it's brought a new way to auditioning, which has been really cool as well.
Win?
Well, first of all, I'd just like to say how proud I have been of everyone who has taken part. It takes a lot of courage to, first of all, get used to like a new way of singing, trying to perform into a camera without an audience, um, as well as knowing that it was going to be recorded and put online and people were going to listen and there was voting, and that's intense and takes a lot of courage. So thank you so much. Um, I would love to do this again. I think it was great, like so much fun. I had been without any GNS for almost a year, and my soul was shriveling up into like I don't even know what. So selfishly, this chance to hear those great GNS songs again and to see what people did with them in their competition entries has been a joy.
Great. And are you ready to narrow down the field today?
I was not ready. I wanted everyone to win because everyone had their own take, everyone had their own talents and their own strengths that they brought to their songs. So I don't want anyone who competed to think that decisions are a judgment of their skill and their potential. And I hope that everyone who did sing for the competition goes on to sing more GNS as well as take part in all of the theater that they want to.
And Paige, I know you've sort of answered this question already, but are you ready to narrow down the field?
No. Like Vin said, everyone has done so well through this competition, and there's been so many differences between each individual person and the creativity that they brought to each one of their videos that it makes it really hard to compare them because they've been so different. And the performances that we've seen and the vocal talents that we've seen, I'm excited to get to the end of this, but I think everyone's a winner. Everyone did such a good job. They've all been presented on a great platform where the world can see them. And I think that's just so cool. So I think everyone's gotten that exposure, which has been great.
Okay, wonderful. So let's have our final two contestants join us on screen, Laura Pratt and Lisa Hoffart. Welcome.
Hey there.
Hello.
So, like we did in the first week, we had your videos and our conversation up on the website for the past week. I know you've shared it with your friends, family, coworkers, families, coworkers. Everybody's had a chance to view it, and the public's also had a chance to vote on who they liked from last week's videos. And of course, it's a popularity contest. It's all online voting, and social media plays a big role in that. And the public's favorite from round two was, once again, Laura. So congratulations on your public appeal.
Thank you very much.
So we're going to see your final entries, and I know both of you took an extra step this week with picking a song that might have been a bit of a stretch for both of you. So very much looking forward to sharing those videos today. We've picked who's going to go first, and this week we're going to start with Lisa. So Laura, we're just going to send you off screen once again. And Lisa, just start with a couple quick questions for you. Curious, what is one thing you've gotten out of this competition?
Oh, I've gotten a lot out of this competition. Not the least of which is just as learning more about Gilbert and Sullivan and their vast repertoire of music. But I think one of the biggest things I got out of this is putting myself out there. That's something that I haven't really done. It's very awkward. Feels awkward for me to do that. But this encouraged me to do it, and it couldn't have been a better opportunity or environment to do it in. So,
well, we've definitely enjoyed watching your videos and everything you've brought into the backgrounds, the props, the costumes, the character. It's been quite lovely, and thank you for taking those risks. Curious, what are some of your plans for musical theater after this?
I just hope to do as much as I can. I think because I have the opportunity with the trial by jury, so that's wonderful, and I'm excited to get started in that and see what I learned from doing that performance. And haven't figured out what I would do in the concert afterwards yet, but yeah, just keep going.
Great. So can you introduce today's song and the character and which show you chose it from?
Okay, well, Gilbert and Sullivan's last opera together was The Grand Duke, or also known as The Statutory Duel. And the song is Take Care of Him, which is sung by Lisa, coincidentally. And Lisa is mourning the separation of her and Ludwig, which has to do with the quirky statutory duel in which two people flip cards, and whoever has the lower card is dead to the world. And so Ludwig it's complicated, but at one point he's dead, and then the next point he's married to someone else, and it's a typical farce from a Gilbert and Sullivan perspective. So Lisa is singing the mourning of her relationship with Ludwig, who is now with Julia.
It is a topsy-turvy story for sure. Why did you choose this song?
Wynn had made a suggestion of a song. I knew my expectation was to try to do something, again, different than the other two songs I had done. So I did whimsy, and then I did vocally challenging, maybe speaker challenging. And then this one is more sort of just lyric and melody. And so this one kind of sits really nicely for me when I looked at those types of songs.
And you also had a coaching session with Wynn this week. Anything that you picked up during that?
One of the things that we talked about was how the music is actually written, music and where it's put to the music, written specifically to make it sound the way it's supposed to. And that's something I learned to appreciate, that by having that, seeing that in this process, realizing the genius of Gilbert and Sullivan and how they just designed it for perfection, sort of thing.
Wonderful. So we're going to share this video. Let's give it a listen.
Take care of him, he's much too good to live with him. You must be very gentle. Poor fellow, he's so highly sensitive and also
There we go. Very nice. Very nice. Lisa, you're on mute there. And let's go to Win and Paige and see what your thoughts were.
Well, thank you so much, Lisa. It has been such a joy to hear you in all of your songs. With this one, I mean, we talked about this before, but thank you so much for, doing some discovery and finding songs that I wouldn't normally hear people do. I think that's so great. And the research you did on like the character and the show. This is a really, well, I mean, it's a perfect song for your voice. The one thing I would suggest maybe like going forward, if you continue working on this song, is just energizing the diction a bit more, especially since it's not so well known of a GNS piece. And I mean, it's always different. And it's always hard for me to talk about that sort of thing when watching people on a recording, because I know that there's kind of that extra layer in between hearing the consonants. But I think part of it is also just energizing them a bit more, allowing even in your like really lyric sound for there to be those quick and crisp consonants. Because I think that what she's saying is actually really funny. And and I caught like a few glimpses of those times. And yeah, but otherwise, like, great work. Thank you so much for all the your hard work on memorizing these pieces in like 2 days and your really creative presentations.
Thank you.
Okay.
I would have to agree with Wynn. I really appreciate the amount of commitment that you've given to each one of your songs and characters. It's been really fun for me, kind of from a director perspective, to see how you've taken those characters and how you see them and how you want to portray them. It's been really interesting to see those in different lights and how much you've brought to each individual one. So thank you for that. And thank you for inspiring creative vision on those. Really good job. I think you stepped outside of your comfort zone, and I'm happy that you did. It was very good. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. I really did step out of my comfort zone.
But it didn't look like you did. You seemed calm and totally confident and just ready to be the diva.
Yeah, you wouldn't know you only had a couple days on this.
Yeah, I strongly believe in setting it up for success in as best you can. So then that is everything from don't pick a 4-minute song to what, figuring out what character and can I actually present that in that format in the very limited way that I have, because I don't even have experience. So trying to, hoping that it's going to carry across in the medium it's the risk. But Morpheus is also just one of those theater companies that makes me feel like I could. So that's also a kudos to you guys.
And also just maybe not having such a preconceived image of what the GNS songs should be based on much knowledge of the show has allowed you to explore those characters in a way that lots of us wouldn't have considered, and that was really fun.
Yeah, and that is actually one bonus of the format, is that because you're not putting it in the context of the show, you can do like really kind of out there things.
That's great. So Lisa, we're going to send you to the background here for a few minutes, and we're going to invite Laura to join us again. Welcome back, Laura.
Thank you.
So, a couple of questions. Curious what you've gotten out of this competition.
I've gotten a lot out of this competition as well. I feel like it's really challenged me, and I didn't necessarily think I was capable of learning like this many songs in this short a time period, like actually memorizing them. Sometimes I struggle with memory. So like it's been a really big stretch for me, and I've been really happy with the results.
That's great. And what are some of your plans for musical theater after this?
So I will be taking a gap year next year, and so I'm thinking of auditioning for some theater companies in and around Calgary. And in the next couple of months, I'm actually doing a musical theater workshop at my studio, and I'm going to be singing Notice Me Horton from Seussical.
Oh, nice, nice. So can you introduce today's song, the character, and from which show it's in?
So I sang Sorry Her Lot. It's from HMS Pinafore, and it's Josephine singing it. So this is our first introduction to her character, pretty much. And just before the song, her father has been like, oh, she's not very happy about this arranged marriage, and I'm very sad about that because I want it to go through. And then Josephine appears and she's like, I don't like this. Like, I can't marry this guy. I'm in love with another guy. So that's what's going on.
And why did you choose this song?
Well, I did HMS Pinafore a couple of years back. We didn't actually do this song, but I really loved the show. So I was like, maybe I should try and look around there. And I found this, and I just love the character in the song and the emotion. I think it's a great introduction to Josephine and kind of puts emotion that she has, like, it puts that out there, and I think that's really cool.
Right. And did you get anything from the one-on-one coaching session with Wynn?
I did. We kind of worked on putting a bit of angsty teenage stuff onto the character. So that was really fun, as well as phrasing, making sure that they're like, you're dragging out the phrases and they're connected. All the notes are just kind of in one big arc. So yeah, that was really helpful.
Very nice. So let's give this song a listen.
Softly her thoughts who loves to wail, living the heart that hopes but vainly, sad to the sighs that own the spell, uttered by eyes that speak too plainly. Softly her thoughts who loves to wail, heavy the heart that hopes but vainly. Heavy the sorrow that bows the head when love is alive and hope is dead. When love is alive and hope is dead. Sad is the hour when sets the sun, dark is the night to earthward daughters, when to the ark the wearied one flies from the empty waste of waters. Sad is the hour when sets the sun, dark is the night of earthward daughters. Heavy the sorrow that bows the head when love is alive and hope is dead. When love is alive and hope is dead.
That was very nice. Very nice. So Wynn, any feedback for Laura?
Thank you so much, Laura. You brought such a sweetness to Josephine in that presentation. As soon as I saw that flower basket, I remembered your guys' show from before, or Josephine's also had beautiful flower baskets. Um, and that is a difficult song, and I'm so proud of you for working on it. I think that is the kind of music you can expect to sing in your life. It's a challenge both dramatically as well as vocally. Josephine is definitely one of the big roles. Both of her songs are very challenging for sort of all light lyric sopranos. But the sounds on your high note are really good. So I want you to feel really encouraged and confident, and know that that's definitely in your range, and your potential to sing these pieces on the stage in the future is there. So thank you very much.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Paige.
Loved the use of your prop. As soon as I saw the basket with the flowers, I was like, oh, this is so Josephine. Honestly, you did so well with the characterization, and Wynn's right, the kind of innocence and that you brought to the character was just so lovely. It's funny, HMS, Pinafore, and Trial by Jury, they were actually one of the very first Gilbert and Sullivan shows I participated in when I was younger. And there was some character choices that you did that I noticed were very similar to the girl who had played Josephine back in one of the shows I did. And so there was a little bit of that connection for me. So I think you did that very well.
Thank you very much.
Laura, any last thoughts?
I think that's all. I'm pretty sure they covered everything.
Well, let's, sorry, Wynn.
Oh, well, I was just going to say, I hope, Laura, I know that you've dealt with me plenty over the past few years in the GNS Juniors Theater School, but when you are ready to audition for the main stage Gilbert and Sullivan shows, I will be happy to see you.
Thank you very much. That's really nice to hear.
Okay, Lisa, do you want to join us back on screen? There we are. So we've now come to the point in time when we get to announce the winner of our So You Think You Can Sing GNS competition. Before we do that, Wynn, Paige, any final comments?
Everyone, I think we said at the beginning, has done such an amazing job. I'm so proud of how each of you individually has grown in each of these performances in such a short amount of time. And it gives me so much excitement to see, Lisa, you grow in the next show that we're going to be doing. And Laura, like Wynn said, in the future, hopefully you'll join us on the main stage. And I'm excited to see what you can do over many weeks versus the days that you've had for this. So thank you and awesome job.
I second Paige. Just thank you again for taking part. It has been such a privilege to hear you and to see, growth already in your presentations as just over these past few weeks. So I have no doubt that in anything that you choose to do in the future, that it will be a tremendous success.
Okay, and with that, we're going to announce the winner, and this is taking into consideration we keep losing Lisa. Lisa, are you still there? We have lost Lisa. Hopefully she'll be back in just a second. So I'm just going to stall by saying what I was going to say anyways, which is during this time, we've been considering how well you've sung, but also the staging of that performance. There we go, Lisa. Lisa's
dramatic
back.
Glitch.
You threatened to do that before the show, so don't do it again, please.
Sorry.
Okay, so I was just saying, we're considering the vocal singing, but also the staging, how well everything's been presented. This week's song, as well as the previous 2 weeks' songs that you've put forward, and also considering the public voting for those past songs. But a lot of it's in how much you've grown over those 3 weeks. So with that, the winner of our So You Think You Can Sing competition is Lisa. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And Laura, thank you for everything that you've brought to this competition. No, it has been a very difficult decision between all three, Lisa, Laura, as well as Danica Power, who was eliminated last week. Paige, Wynn, any comments?
You're all winners.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, everyone won.
It's tough to come down to the point of just saying one person, but it was a competition. It's a fun competition. And I really like the fact that we've gotten to listen to so much GNS, so much, a couple of new offerings, but also to see both of you grow in these last few weeks. So hopefully both of you got something out of this, as you said you had earlier. Lisa, as the winner, you will be featured, getting a featured spot in our GNS concert in June. So going to get to work on one or two of your songs for a solo spot there. You'll also be receiving $200 towards your musical education, whether that's working with your music instructor or just some other way to contribute to that, as well as a $50 gift card to Music Notes so that you can download some of the music so that you can keep working on those favorite songs of yours.
That's great. Thank you.
Laura, as second place, we would like to invite you to still perform a song in the concert in June if you're interested, because we think that you've come so far that we would still like to give you a featured spot in that concert.
Okay, thank you very much. That's great.
And for our audience, don't forget you can watch each of these videos on the website at morpheustheatre.ca. Thank you everyone for joining us today, and we look forward to seeing everyone live at our June concert and trial by jury. So until then, goodbye. Thank you all.
Thanks everyone. Congratulations, Laura.